yesterday. Tonight, the Iron Bowl with Alabama and Auburn. You got Michigan, Ohio State going on right now, and we are underway in Stillwater. Foreman going to be able to return this one from the 4. Gets out to the 20. He's got some room. Gets across the 30. A good return for Foreman on the opening kickoff of this ball game. A 29-yard return. Drive will start at the 34 for the Oklahoma State offense, led by the third-year redshirt freshman Zane Flores. He's from Gretna, Nebraska, former Nebraska Player of the Year. That was in 2022. On the season, Flores, 3 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Directing traffic before the first snap of the game. Play clock inside 10, and they'll start things off on the ground. That's Trent Howland on the carry.
Yeah, Howland kind of back
throughout the course of the day here in Stillwater. Not dealing with some of what they're dealing with in the upper Midwest. This game was being played in Ames today. We'd be dealing with about a foot of snow. That was the quarterback, Noah Walters, into the game. So the starter was Zane Flores. Walters comes in on the second down play. Now he'll go back to the sideline with third down coming up.
And I think some of that we'll see today is just being a senior day, get some of those guys who have invested in the program an opportunity to get some snaps.
3rd and 4 to the air, one-on-one on the outside. A good throw and an incomplete pass intended for Shamar Rigby. Trey Bell in coverage that time, and that's going to force a punt from Oklahoma State on their opening offensive possession.
Yeah, Trey Bell had really good position and the ball a little bit towards the sideline. Great effort from Rigsby, but really had no chance to come down inbounds.
So the punt team is on. Wes Paul will hit this one, and it's a wobbly spiral. It's going to go out of bounds and is going to give Iowa State outstanding field position to start the ball game. Winds right now blowing out of the northwest downs at Iowa State. Perhaps nobody in the country uses tight ends more and more effectively than this Iowa State team. They start things out on the ground, and that is Carson Hansen straight ahead. Feels like we might get a lot of that today, Craig.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Oklahoma State defense around.
That big offensive lineman you're talking about, Via Ika-Kola. He wears number 99, 355 pounds. Second and short, back to the ground. Hansen trying to get to the outside. He's got a first down across the 47 out to the 48-yard line. Aiden Kelly on the tackle for the Cowboys.
Hansen over 800 yards on the ground. Does a really good job of following his blocks. See the tight end, number 82, Tyler Moore leading him.
How about Cam Smith blowing that one up in the backfield? Came off the edge unblocked, and he's able to drop Carson Hansen for a loss on the first down carry. Lost 4.
And that's what this Oklahoma State defense is going to need to do. Try and put Iowa State behind the chains. Really force them to have to put it through the air. They're obviously very capable as a passer. You mentioned Rocco Beck and the numbers that he has put up. But try to force at least the Cyclones out of their comfort zone.
Tyler Moore, the tight end that moved across the formation, lined up almost like an H-back. Beck to the air for the first time. Gets away from trouble in the pocket. Now going to try to make a play with his legs. He's into Cowboys territory all the way down to the 40 for an Iowa State first down.
You don't really think of Rocco Beck as a runner. They bring pressure, do a good job of picking it up. A late blitzer comes. Beck does a great job of seeing it, being able to escape the pocket and pick up positive yards and a first down.
Abu Sama into the game for the first time today as you get a look at Rocco Becht in the backfield with Sama off his right hip. Rocco Becht has run much less this year. That was his 77th carry of the season. He does have 8 touchdowns as Sama tries to bounce it to the outside. He'll be wrestled out of bounds just shy of the 35-yard line by Eric Fletcher.
It took Fletcher a couple of chances to try to get him down. Again, you know, Samu's kind of a little bit like the lightning and the thunder and lightning package between him and Hansen. But the thing that really jumps out to me watching number 24 run the football is how tough he is as well.
Beck dropped back once on this drive, but he scrambled. So 5 runs, no pass attempts on the opening drive of the game so far for Iowa State. 2nd and 5 here with an empty backfield. Beck throws this one away, incomplete with pressure coming. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Get some pressure upfield. That tight end's got to chip him a little bit before he heads out into the flat. That was Kyron Duhan, a free rush there upfield. Really disrupted the play and put him down behind the chain.
So 3rd and 5 now for Iowa State. Backed out of the shotgun. The motion man is Cooper Alexander. He'll settle in the slot at the top of the screen. Beck with pressure in his face, and down he goes. Jacoby Oliphant Jr. with just his 2nd sack of the season. Big defensive stop there for the Cowboys.
Earlier in this drive, Beck was able to escape the pressure. They bring pressure here again. Talked about Oliphant coming in, able to defeat the back Hansen and bring down Beck.
Loss of 7 on the play, and so 4th and 12 coming up, and it's time to punt. Tyler Perkins averaging 43.5 yards per punt this season. Gavin Freeman, one of 2 return man. He stands at the 5-yard line. Also, Royal Capel is back there. End over end punt. This is a good one. Fair catch called for and made at the 8-yard line. Both teams with an owling. Both coaching staff's a little worried about that today. Said it could certainly affect the kicking game. Just saw a 35-yard punt with no return, and now the 2nd offensive possession for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Flag comes in on the play as the pass was completed from Zane Flores to Terrell Davis. Gonna have a push off on that catch, perhaps?
I mean,
well, it's going to be on defense. Penalty decline and a 1st down for Oklahoma State.
they did a little misdirection, power to one side. You just see as he's trying to break there, Trey Bell gets a hold of him. But key, you know, even if they don't score in this drive, that was really big start. Just to avoid the 3 and outs, give their defense a chance to rest, put together some drives, keep the offense on the field a bit.
Flores looking to the air again, throws sidearm, and this one through the hands of Gavin Freeman on a crossing route, dragging all the way across the formation there. 2nd and 10 after the incompletion.
It looked like Vontre Malone up top doing a great job just getting pressure.
Flores playing in his 9th career game, all of them this season. He missed 3 games this year with an injury. Houston, Cincinnati, Texas Tech. Quarterback, a spot that has been often injured this year for the Cowboys. Hoss Haney started the year and in the 1st quarter of the opening game suffered a season-ending injury. When Flores got hurt, they actually went to wide receiver Sam Jackson, the 5th. Good 1st half last week for the Cowboys against UCF. They went 13 plays and scored a touchdown on the opening drive, scored again on the 2nd drive, had a 14-0 lead at the half. Could not hang on to it, though, on the road against Scott Frost's UCF Knights. Plenty of time here for Flores. Now he's going to try to escape. Still looking downfield, and he's wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage with Caleb Bacon chasing him down. Craig Bacon, one of those guys, former walk-on. That's his 62nd tackle of the season.
And Bacon does a great job just maintaining position, setting the edge, and making the tackle.
So now punt time once again. A short punt the 1st time from Wes Paul. This one better, kind of a driving spiral that pushed Aiden Flora back. Now Aiden Flora with a seam. He'll squirt up the middle across the 35. Decent starting field position after a 50-yard punt that February 19th. Iowa State with their second offensive possession. They moved into Oklahoma State territory the first time. Deshaun Brown into the backfield, and he makes the tackle right at the line of scrimmage.
Deshaun Brown doing a great job just getting upfield, playing off the block, getting extension, and then quickly bringing down Hansen.
Carson Hansen in the backfield with Rocco Becht, who operates out of the shotgun. This time play action. Chance to get it to his tight end, and he does. That's Tyler Moore turning it upfield. He's going to be dropped yards short of the first down. Will bring up 3rd and 1. Tyler Moore, part of that tight end room. That's just his 7th catch of the year. Benjamin Bramer leads the way with 36 catches. Iowa State without Gabe Burkle, who had a catch in 16 straight games, but out for the season with an injury. Carson Hansen in the backfield on 3rd and 1. Hansen picks his way forward, and he'll gain 3 and move the chains.
We're able to do that. You know, the previous play, down 1, they run. 2nd down, they throw it, get it to 3rd and 1. But they can keep that same personnel with those multiple tight ends and be able to shift right away to be able to have to pick up a 3rd and 1. And Hansen, just a big back, does such a great job running behind his pads. He's one of those kind of, lunch pail type runners. He's going to work for every yard he gets.
You hear people talking about personnel groupings. You hear 12, 13, 14. Not a lot of teams use 14 personnel where they've got 1 back and 4 tight ends. Chase Sowell with an inside move. He's going to be close to a first down. A little run after the catch for Sowell on his first catch of the ball game. Brought down by Brian McCoy.
Hey, you're saying, Rich, you don't often see 13, 14 personnel, BLT expression. If you got it, use it. They've got a lot of tight ends, and they're finding ways to use them.
I thought it was interesting talking with Tyler Mauser this week, the offensive coordinator for Iowa State. They've got those packages, but they say they can run everything on their call sheets, regardless of the personnel package that's in the game.
Yeah, they bring a lot of flexibility to that offense, including here getting under center.
13 personnel there with a back and 3 tight ends, and Becht didn't see anything downfield, so he scrambles forward for the first down. Won that game against Kansas State 24-21. It's been a season of streaks for the Hawkeyes. This time it's Aiden Flora on the carry, 3rd different back that we've seen carry the football. Craig, they started out 5-0 with wins over Kansas State, South Dakota, Iowa, Arkansas State, and
strong finish.
Trying to make it 3 in a row after wins over TCU and Kansas. 2nd and 4 with Hansen back in the game. A shot toward the end zone, one-on-one coverage down the field. That was Cam Smith that was locked up with Chase Sowell. Little hand fighting, and then Smith let him go, and no flag comes in.
You talk about, the streaks they've been on too, even though it looked really promising, they were ranked early on in the year. It's important for Iowa State. This is a program that traditionally hasn't had great success. To get to 8 wins is another big building block for what Matt Campbell has done within this program.
Oklahoma State 0 for 2. Iowa State 1 for 2 on 3rd down. Trying to move the chains here. They do so with a hard run from Rocco Becht. Kept it himself. Brought down by Ike Asuana.
With all these tight ends and the running backs, and now you get designed just QB lead from Rocco Becht. Really gives the defense a lot to think about.
Parker Robertson had a chance there, maybe to stop Becht short of the first down. Couldn't wrap him up. This time you've got Abu Sama and Carson Hansen in the backfield. Sama split out wide, and now he goes to the other side. So backs on either side. It's Sama with a lead blocker trying to get wide to the outside. Good pursuit by orange jerseys there.
Let those orange jerseys be able to rally to the ball.
2nd and 11 coming up for the Cyclones. 2.5 minutes to go in this opening quarter. It's moved quickly. A lot of ground game from both of these teams so far. Beck wants to throw. Now he'll scramble. And he's going to take off to the outside and will step out of bounds at about the 27-yard line, shoved out by Brian McCoy. And a 3rd down coming up for the Cyclones.
Oklahoma State's been doing a good job early on to be able to generate pressure when Iowa State is trying to throw the football. And, you know, you really watch, especially last week, you know, even with the tough season, this Oklahoma State defense has really played well, played hard.
Third and 9. Becht dumps it over the middle, and it's dropped. It was intended for Chase Sowell. Had coverage there, step for step with him, couldn't haul it in.
Wendell Gregory with great pressure off the edge there, really disrupted this play. Number 4, their best pass rusher there, able to beat Hansen to be able to get to the quarterback, disrupt the timing, and it still should have been a completion, but able to get the pressure there, at least kind of throw off the timing there.
Put another quarterback hurry on the stat line for Gregory. Kyle Conradi on to try the field goal. He's 12 of 16 on the year. Make it 13 of 17 as Iowa State strikes first on the field. Seconds capped with a 45-yard field goal from Kyle Conradi. This kickoff taken by Kobe Foreman. They'll get across the 25, but barely. Cyclones led there by Mendezun on the tackle.
You recap that scoring drive, but I think for Oklahoma State it's a win. I mean, it's been kind of a little bit of a bend don't break thus far for them defensively. Last drive able to pick up a 1st down. Again, you need to try to continue to find some offensive success, help that defense out.
Little flip underneath to Gavin Freeman, and Freeman will get out to the 33-yard line. Get about 7 on 1st down, brought down by Caden Matson.
And Freeman's kind of their do-it-all guy, and you watch them. This is not unusual to see him coming across the formation, kind of getting pitched to football. Listed as a wide receiver, he probably runs as much as he is targeted in terms of receiver. They find different ways to kind of get him the football.
This time on the carry, it's Trent Howland, and the ball comes out, and the big offensive lineman, Grant Segrin, was able to fall on it. There for a moment, looked like nobody realized that there had been a fumble. It was Drew Surgis that punched it out.
Oh, Surgis, I mean, literally punched it out. That ball went flying back. And Segrin's going to see it there, blocking off the edge. That ball is going to get punched out and then just drops back a few yards. And then Segrin, with the awareness to see it, and smartly the big man falls on it.
I mean, haymaker there game in Atlanta.
The conclusion of the LSU game bring news?
Perhaps. 3rd down and 4. This ball long way in the air, and breaking on it at the very end and batting it away was David Coffey, the redshirt freshman from Chicago, Illinois. De La Salle High School. That ball, that was a long throw that time from Flores.
Yeah, and in this swirling wind from the far hash to the numbers, and Coffey doing a great job, great positioning, getting that right hand in there, knocking it away.
I think you were referencing the story that much of the college football world seems to be talking about, the will he or won't he with Lane Kiffin. A booming punt this time, and it's mishandled. On the ground, Oklahoma State trying to get there. It is Iowa State, I think, that recovers it. Aiden Flora mishandled the punt. A 54-yard punt with no return. Right now it's about 50 degrees with the wind out of the north and northwest. Feels like 37 and maybe playing havoc with the football.
Yeah, I think it looked like he overplayed it a little bit, but it was good patience there by Floyd. He didn't panic, making sure he tracked down the football and got on it, but a missed opportunity there. I think we would both agree that the Cowboys have a little bit more of the uphill climb here today in this matchup, and turnovers are going to be the great equalizer, or it can be the great equalizer there, but ultimately Iowa State able to get back on it, but worst field position for them so far.
Cyclones with the ball, leading 3-0. On the ground with Carson Hansen to start this drive. He'll pick up 3, maybe 4 out across the 10-yard line with Kenneth Harris. Carson Hansen in the backfield alongside Rocco Becht. And it's Hansen up the gut out to the 15-yard line. Tyler Perkins was a semifinalist for the Riddler. Third down here for the Cyclones. 2 of 4 on third down so far. Hansen and Becht in the backfield. Option look this time. It's a pitch to Hansen. Lowers his shoulder. And it's going to be close. We'll see where they mark him. Parker Robertson and Trip White. It will be short of the first down. And going to bring up a 4th down for Iowa State, leading 3-0 in this game.
Yeah, Oklahoma State's done a really good job today out on the edges. Great pursuit angles. I think, listen, first of all, I'm always kind of a believer that in these situations, at the very least, you line up, maybe see if you could draw the defense off. But
looks like a tush push. They go for it on 4th down and convert. That was via Ika-Cola, the offensive lineman who's kind of been used like a Swiss Army knife the last few weeks. Directly behind Becht with the push under center, not out of the shotgun.
Yeah, well, I love that too. Nothing drives me more crazy than when it's a 3rd and 1 or a 4th and 1 and they get in a shotgun, they make it a 4th and 5. Get under center, put that size behind you. When you got an offense built like this, not surprised they went for that and picked it up.
Sama back in. Fake it to Sama. Becht wants to throw. He's got a receiver open, and it is caught. That's Brett Eskelson hauling it in. 30th catch of the year. Gain of 13. But a flag is down.
After the Super Bowl, still first down.
So that will move it back. Will erase the first down. Spot the hold there.
Pressure right up the middle.
Had 2 guys on that nose kind of working their way through the middle. And I think they said James Neal called for the hold. That's the first penalty of the game for either team. Sama, short gain on what was 1st and 19. Luke Webb in the middle of that defensive line with the tackle. Just his 5th tackle of the year.
Yeah, at times having to kind of dig deep within that, too deep.
Well, the redshirt freshman out of Deer Park, Texas. Lighter box this time for Oklahoma State defensively. Rocco Becht couldn't find anybody downfield. Now he lets it fly incomplete in the direction of Benjamin Bramer, who does not have a reception yet today. And now 3rd and 15.
Yeah, the pressure is ultimately going to get there, but what allowed this to happen was the coverage in the secondary. Becht had plenty of time to kind of go through his reads, nowhere to go with the football, and ultimately things kind of collapsed, had to throw it away.
Pistol formation with Hansen behind Becht on 3rd and 15. Hansen on a handoff, and he is met by a wall of orange jerseys. Ike Asuana was the first one there for the Cowboys, and it will force a punt from the Cyclones.
The holding call really kind of changed the complexity of that drive, picking up that first down, and then
absolutely
we're going to get things moving, and now punting and
would have been a first down out beyond the 30. Wobbly spiral here. Gavin Freeman driven back, and he is wrestled down. Good job by the coverage team at that time. It's ESPN app. See Aiden Flora there. He made the tackle for a loss of 2 yards on the punt return. Oklahoma State begins this drive in the air. And on the catch that time for the Cowboys, Gavin Freeman. So I mentioned Flora and the tackle on the punt team, Craig, because coming into today's game, Iowa State's punt special teams had allowed a total of 13 return yards this year. It's now at 11.
It's a group that swarms.
Floors complete out across the 40. Cam Abshire on the tackle.
Good way to help your punter become a semifinalist as well.
It helps a lot. Kind of a two-way street there. Hang time helps the return guys, or at least the coverage guys. Trent Howland is in the game, and he's split toward the bottom of the screen. And a flip underneath, turning it up, trying to get that first down yardage is Christian Fitzpatrick. Ball came out, and it's Iowa State football. Marcus Neal with the recovery. Marcus Neal Jr., the sophomore from Kansas City. Marcus Neal Jr., one of the only defensive backs that was a starter at the beginning of the year that is still playing.
Cole Brazina doing a great job from behind with that left hand. He's going to knock it loose. Been active, had a pressure earlier in the game. Got my 8 and 9 confused, but he's been really active and doing a great job kind of punching that out and creating a turf. I've seen the ball hit the ground a few times here this afternoon, but the first one where someone's able to capitalize on it.
Cale Brazina, the sophomore from Downers Grove, Illinois. So Brazina with the punch out, Neal with the recovery, and now the Cyclones in good shape. Sama makes a couple of guys miss and scampers forward for about 4 yards on first down.
There was penetration into the backfield.
Abu Sama stays in the game. And Carson Hansen low to the carry. Sama gets to the outside. He's inside the 30, got the corner, down to the 20, cuts it back, and finally brought down across the 15-yard line. Brian McCoy leading the way on the tackle for Oklahoma State, but a big run by Abu Sama.
Yeah, you see the great block there by the center, number 63, kind of help create that seam. Talked about those tight ends, that O-line doing a great job as well.
28 yards when it was all said and done there for the Cyclones. Now inside the 15, a first down and 10 for this Iowa State team. Sama trying to find a hole. He gets to the outside. Can he outrun the defense? He cannot. Leading the way, Raymond Guy II, the fifth-year senior out of Dallas and Red Oak High School. Loss of 2 on the carry.
Nowhere to go there, up in the middle, tries to bounce it outside. You see Rawls, number 6, kind of the first one in there, forces the bubble a little bit more, and the rest of that defense to rally.
Iowa State, a 10-win team a year ago. It's happened just 4 times in school history. Not going to get to double digits this year, but a chance to get to 8 wins. Rocco Beck takes a shot toward the end zone. That's a touchdown for Chase Sowell. Got behind the defender. Iowa State striking for the score.
Holding. Defense number 30. Penalty is declined.
Flag on the play. It's defensive holding, and the touchdown stands for the Cyclones. A 16-yard strike. Becht with his 16th touchdown pass of the season.
Yeah, the holding's going to come underneath. You see Sowell there. And just the defender stops running with him, allows that separation for Sowell to be able to create that space. And
Conradi on for the extra point. It is up and good, and it's now 10-0 Iowa State. Started after the turnover. Gave Iowa State great field position. He had the big run from Abu Sama, and it set up the touchdown pass from Rocco Becht to Chase Sowell, just his second touchdown catch of the year. Did a double take when I saw that number. 4 plays, 46 yards, 2 minutes, 8 seconds. And the 16-yard touchdown pass to cap it off as for the first time today, the sun peeks through here in Stillwater. Short kick, and it's returnable by Royal Capel. And he is not going to make it back to the 25-yard line. Tried to get over there where the blocking was set up. Didn't work out. So Oklahoma State on senior day in a hole now. Trailing 10-0. Trent Howland getting a little more run. I don't think we have seen Rodney Fields yet today. All on the ground after faking the speed sweep, and then Flores picks it up and is dropped by Cooper Ebel.
And bringing a receiver across the formation, it looks like obviously some type of miscommunication there. A lot of times when they do that, if under jet sweeps, they'll pitch it. So if it does hit the ground, it becomes an incomplete pass there. A handoff. Flores able to, though, scoop it back up, but lost yardage. And for an offense that's struggling.
Almost looked like Flores was trying to read as he was kind of riding the pitch there. Swing pass out of the backfield to Howland. Right out at the 23-yard line. And I don't know if Flores wanted to hand it off and changed his mind, or maybe he had Sam Jackson already passed him at that point. Oklahoma State has not converted on third down today. 0 for 4 to start the ball game. Howland motions into the backfield. Flores on 3rd and 7, completes the slant across the 30 for an Oklahoma State first down. That's Gavin Freeman.
Freeman has been a playmaker. It was interesting talking to the Iowa State coaches early this week. They made an interesting comparison, calling him the Drake Stoops, who was at Oklahoma, kind of type of player he was, and you see a lot of that in Freeman.
A power run straight ahead.
Freeman's up top, 3 receivers, works underneath. He does such a great job, too, of being able to just understand where there's spacing, settle down.
Gavin Freeman leads this team in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns on the year. Playbook fully open here on 2nd and 3. Not close to the 40-yard line. Flores to the air, and that's a long completion out on the sideline to Terrell Davis. Greg, you cover recruiting a ton. This is one of those guys that did not play any football until he was a senior in high school. It's rare that you see that. To the air, complete again. A little bit of a rhythm now. Shamar Rigby hauls it in. There's 3 completions in a row for Flores.
Well, their new head coach has got himself a quarterback that didn't have any varsity QB reps.
Eric Morris announced earlier this week, currently the head coach at North Texas. He will be the next head coach at Oklahoma State. Mike Gundy was in his 21st season and a surefire future college football Hall of Famer with the success that he had in his time in Stillwater. Let go on September 23rd. Doug Meacham has served as the interim head coach. There's been turnover on this roster within the season. Some guys that have stepped away from the program. The buy-in, Doug Meacham and Clint Bowen and the rest of this staff really pleased with the guys that have kind of stuck through it and feel like they found a group that has played not only hard but has played better down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, through the adversity, those players who hung around, those players who continued to battle, they talked about they kind of galvanized. And at least, you know, it's not ideal. It's been tough, but at least, you know, you kind of go into battle with guys who want to be there.
Flores has completed his last 7 passes. The Oklahoma State offense stays on the field. They were go for it on 4th and 4. Flores looking left, now over the middle. He's going to fire it down the middle of the field, and that ball is caught. Shamar Rigby able to haul it in. Skinny post over the middle of the field, and Flores has now completed 8 in a row.
Yeah, great throw here by Flores, who could be a little bit erratic, but really putting it in there. There is really good coverage there. Outstanding concentration. Great throw and catch.
So Oklahoma State on this drive has converted a 3rd down for the first time in the game, and now they've converted a 4th down. A couple of weeks ago against Kansas State, this was the area of the field where Oklahoma State had trouble finishing drives, and you see a 1st down carry for a loss of a couple. Marcus Neal Jr. comes up to make the stop. See the difference. Becht has the touchdown pass so far. Zane Flores, 10 of 13, 85 yards. Can he get the Cowboys in the end zone? And this drive trailing 10-0. Howland down to the 20. Cale Brazina able to bring Howland down on the play.
Flores has kind of thrown and kind of looked as sharp as he has in the last few games here, now facing his 3rd and long.
Assume that they would take 2 downs to pick this up, or maybe would send the field goal kicker out for points. We'll have to wait and see. But first, the 3rd down play. Flores surveying the field, takes a shot. That's complete. Not going to matter what they would have done on 4th down because it's a 1st and goal for the Cowboys. Shamar Rigby again. And Oklahoma State going to have a little time to think about it as we come to the 2-minute timeout with the Oklahoma State Cowboys threatening for the first time today.
His offense is moving. Can they finish with pressure in his face? Flores delivers.
Live at 3 Eastern, then Scott Van Pelt and the Monday Night Countdown crew at 6 Eastern. Not much there on 1st down as Ebel leads the way and drops Trent Howland in the backfield. What a drive for Zane Flores, quarterback for Oklahoma State. 6 of 6 for 65 yards on this drive. He has completed 9 in a row. Second and goal from the 8. 14th play of the drive for Oklahoma State, looking for points, trailing 10-0. Howland bouncing it to the outside. He's got away into the end zone. Touchdown, OSU. 3rd rushing touchdown of the season for Trent Howland, an 8-yard scoring run, and the Cowboys are on the board.
You mentioned Flores passing, gets him down there, pulling around. You see the big lineman is able to seal off.
14 plays, 80 yards, 6:46 off the clock, capped with a touchdown run from 8 yards out by Trent Howland, the 5th-year senior from Joliet, Illinois. The extra point is good for Logan Ward. They go from losing by 4 scores a game to an average of 9 over the last 3. Aiden Flora on the return. Out to the 30-yard line. 1:15 and 2 timeouts for Iowa State. And an opportunity, Craig, perhaps for a 2-for-1 for the Cyclones as they will get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, great opportunity. Going to be a week ago. Oklahoma State played really well in the first half, struggled in the second half. See how that plays out here today. But for Iowa State, chance to kind of finish this half strong.
Carson Hansen in the backfield with Rocco Becht. Becht standing in, pocket closing in around. He just flipped it to Hansen. And Hansen turns that into a positive play for a gain of 3, maybe 4. Hansen on the run. Spun away from the first tackle, and now a 3rd down coming up.
We showed that point differential. So much had to do with the way that this Oklahoma State defense has been playing, and really not so much the offense, but the way the defense is playing.
What's been different?
I think the chance to have a bye and to kind of adjust after the coaching changes are going to make things a little bit more difficult on themselves now.
Oklahoma State took the timeout there. A 3rd and 4 coming up. So Clint Bowen operating as the defensive coordinator after the change that was
the old coordinator was doing, and what he wanted to do, he was able to kind of push all of his chips in, and this defense has really responded.
Clint Bowen's got a son, Banks Bowen, who is a freshman quarterback on this team. Third down and 4. It was Oklahoma State that used that timeout. Rocco Becht airs it out. Sowell hauls it in. Chase Sowell already with a touchdown catch in the ball game, and now into Cowboy territory. Gain of 22 on the play.
Yeah, Sowell's been active in his first half. Great job tracking the football.
Clock running. Becht to the air. That's complete and out of bounds. That'll stop the clock. First catch for Benjamin Bramer. A flag came out on the play. Check the marker.
Pass interference. Offense, number 0. 15-yard penalty. Still first down.
Sowell called for offensive pass interference. Little pick play, rub route.
Kind of coming off that great catch before. You see him there, just running straight into the defender upfield.
And that's one of those plays where if that pass is completed behind the line of scrimmage, you're okay with the contact, but because it was beyond the line of scrimmage, results in a pass interference. Long pass incomplete and nearly intercepted that time. Cam Smith with the diving effort. Dominic Overby, the intended receiver. Cyclones with a 10-7 lead. Started with a 45-yard field goal by Conradi. Then a touchdown catch by Sowell led it 10-0. Oklahoma State on the board with the Howland touchdown run on their last possession on the ground for Hansen. And that likely is going to be the last play. The veteran Rocco Becht in his 3rd season starting to begin this 3rd quarter. Aiden Flora comes way up to catch that ball on the run. Pretty good coverage by Oklahoma State considering where that ball was. Iowa State looking for a 5th conference win. Trying to finish over 500 in conference play and pick up their 8th win of the year. Hansen on the carry. Rocco Becht 4 of 9.
Able to finish. And 2 periods in that first half where penalties kind of really disrupted drives.
Play action to Hansen. Becht on the roll. That was behind his tight end. Couldn't haul it in. Intended that time for Tyler Moore.
See Moore, number 82, working in the flat. A little bit behind him, but just great job defensively, staying after that, knocking it loose. Kenneth Harris.
Iowa State 3 of 7 on third down in the first half, and down goes Beck. Trip White with his first sack of the season. Redshirt junior from Little Rock Parkview High School, transferred from Ole Miss, comes up with a sack.
Yeah, Trip White, he gets a free run there. And we're coming unimpeded, nothing there that Rocco Beck can do. This Cowboys defense has been a good job today being able to create pressure there.
Makes it a little bit easier, right? Nobody blocks you.
Yes.
Gavin Freeman back to receive this punt from Tyler Perkins. It's going to hit. It'll take a Cyclones roll inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Iowa State fans may not have liked it. Got a little completed by Flores. Oklahoma State punted on their first 3 possessions of the game. They had the fumble that ended their 4th drive, and then got the touchdown on their last possession of the first half. Cowboys defense forced a 3-and-out to start this second half. They go to Trent Howland on the ground for a gain of 5 to start the drive.
And we'll see how they respond. A week ago against UCF, they had 4 straight 3-and-outs. Didn't get their first down until into the 4th quarter. Nice first down pickup there. Try to come out with some more momentum in this game in the second half.
Said 5. That was actually a gain of 7 that time for Trent Howland. He stays in the game with Flores. Trips at the bottom of your screen for Oklahoma State. Now Howland motions out of the backfield. Flores with the empty set, throws high and incomplete. Intended that time for Rigby. Caleb Bacon right there in coverage, and that snaps the string of consecutive completions at 9.
And Rigby is open just a little bit too high and outside there. And Flores, he can be a little bit erratic, but missed opportunity there to keep the chains moving.
On the ground, and Howland is upended at the 35-yard line by Caleb Bacon. Came in and made the hit. Stopped Howland right at the line of scrimmage, and so a 4th down, and the punt team for Oklahoma State will come out. So a pair of 3-and-outs to start this 3rd quarter. First for the Cyclones, then the Cowboys.
They always say a game of inches, great first down run, and then just being a little bit off target on that 2nd down throw disrupts the drive. Great play there by Bacon, forcing the punt.
Wind has shifted. It was out of the north. Now it's out of the northwest. And so this punt is into the wind. Fair catch called for and made at the 21 by Aiden Flora. 44 yards on the punt with no return. A 3-point lead for the Cyclones. Playoff bracket. Ole Miss with that win yesterday over Mississippi State improved to 11-1. Almost assuredly will be hosting a home playoff game. They have an outside chance still at a shot for the SEC championship game. Should be the first time in school history. Depending on the outcome of the Iron Bowl tonight. If Auburn were to upset Alabama, then it would be Ole Miss and Georgia. If Alabama wins that game, Georgia will take on the Crimson Tide. Rocco Beck to the air, hits a seam route for a big gain out to the 46, maybe the 47-yard line. Brett Eskelson on the catch, gain of 19. Hansen trying to get to the outside, and he breaks a tackle and stays on his feet and is pushed out of bounds at the 40-yard line in Oklahoma State territory. Ike Esuwanu with the tackle after a gain of 14.
And working some tempo there, getting Hansen to the edge and just showing just his toughness. All the way to break out of that tackle and then just keep fighting, not go down.
Abu Sama in the game. This is about the spot on the field where he broke off the big run in the first half that set up the touchdown for Iowa State. This time it's up the middle and Sama breaks contained. He's going to race to the end zone. Touchdown. 40 yards for the score for Abu Sama. That's his 5th rushing touchdown of the season.
Just great patience by Sama, allowing that play to develop, letting his big guys do their job, pressing the line of scrimmage. Once that seam opened up, hitting it and taking it all the way. And a nice 1-2 punch of Hansen and Sama resulted in points.
Sama, the junior from Des Moines, Iowa, Southeast Polk High School. Kick is up and good. Abu Sama came into this season on the Doak Walker watch list.
Doing a nice job. Watch how patient he is. Lets it develop. It's his offensive lineman. Dylan Barrett created open. You can see number 61. He gets right behind him, right on that hip. Once Barrett's able to seal it off, he's able to hit that gear and take it all the way.
Barrett, a transfer from Wisconsin. He's a 5th-year senior. Has his brother Austin also on the offensive line. Quick strike that time from Iowa State. Just a minute 27. Covered 79 yards in 4 plays. And Abu Sama with the 40-yard touchdown run. A little bit of breathing room now for the Cyclones, up 10 with 10:37 left in the 3rd quarter. Wind doing its thing, blows that one off the tee.
Actually surprised. Well, hasn't been a ton of kickoffs. Actually surprised, though. That's the first time that's happened today.
Jace Gilbert will kick off with the wind behind him. Ball stays in place, and this one end over end. Taken from the 4. That's Kobe Foreman. Foreman makes a couple of guys miss, tries to find a cutback lane. Wants to get to the outside, and he'll be dragged down at the end of the play by Connor Welsh. Boy, Welsh, the last guy in the way from Foreman, having a big return there for Oklahoma State as the offense comes back out onto the field with pretty decent starting field position from the 32. Alongside Craig Hauber, Richard Cross with you from Stillwater on this final Saturday of the regular season. Conference championship games next weekend. Long throw to Terrell Davis out to the 38-yard line. Gain of 6 on first down for the Cowboys.
And Flores having to throw that a bit of a distance. On target there. Good first down pickup. How do they follow that up now?
Delayed handoff that time, and Howland with a burst. Takes it out across the 45 for an Oklahoma State first down. Matson and Ebel combine on the tackle for the Cyclones.
Yeah, really delayed.
It's like freeze frame.
Yeah, he didn't even get out of his stance. Really sold it there, Howland.
Closing in on midfield at the 46. Oklahoma State with a fresh set of downs. 9.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Cyclones leading it by 10. Another handoff to Howland, waiting on his blocks to develop, and then he just goes one-on-one with Cooper Ebel. Dropped after a short gain on the carry. Craig mentioned a second ago, so you got championship games next weekend, and then Army-Navy kind of stands alone on that following weekend before the college football playoffs begin. And there's a wrinkle in there where Navy could have the Army-Navy game after after the American Championship game, if things fall just right for them, an outside chance to make it to that American Conference title game. Well, wide open with room to run. That's Quentin Stewart. He has been out. Was going to try to go on senior day. A flag is down. We'll have to check the marker. A little push it and shove it on the sidelines. I think maybe a second flag as well.
Pass was complete to 82, Quentin Stewart. Flag down on the play.
Quentin Stewart, the fifth-year senior from Salina, Kansas. Henry Johns, our referee today. Been a pretty clean game in terms of penalties.
Along those sidelines, too, and if you're familiar with the stadium, you know there's not a lot of room.
It is tight.
There were 2 fouls on the play, both committed by the offense. Holding, number 17 of the offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 7 of the offense. That's number 7's first unsportsmanlike of the game. 15-yard penalty, still second down.
Shamar Rigby called for the personal foul at the end of the play. That's Gavin Freeman that was called for the hold. So that's a spot foul. 10-yard penalty from the spot.
And you see there Freeman there on the hold on the sideline, kind of getting up a little bit chippy.
So Freeman got the holding call there on the sideline. Then you have the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty that was charged to Rigby.
And kind of like a little bit of a snapshot of a 1-in-10 season. You're moving the football, making some plays, and then not only you get the holding, get the unsportsmanlike on top of it, totally kind of blow up this drive, push them way back.
Instead of a first down in Iowa State territory, it's 2nd and 15. A flag came in at the snap. We'll see if it's offside or an illegal formation.
Backfield. Penalties decline. 3rd down.
So Iowa State declines it, brings up 3rd and 15. Didn't have enough guys on the line of scrimmage.
You see here, Cyclones dial up some pressure, not so much, not very often in between the 20s. Well, they've shown it here.
They give it to Howland underneath. He's got some room up the middle and gets back close to midfield. More manageable 4th down. Looks like the punt team gathering on the sideline for Oklahoma State. You heard the boos from the Oklahoma State fans when the penalties were marked off. Now a few more boos as their team's going to punt it away on 4th and 7.
Yeah, I mean, a 10-point game here. Right on your side of the field, you got to punt this away.
Flora is the return man. A beautiful spiraling punt this time. It's going to hit. Did it hit an Iowa State player? Oklahoma State thinks it did. They grab the ball, and it is Oklahoma State football. Inside the 15-yard line. Recovered that time by Aiden Davenport, the long snapper. At section 231, or as they call it, 2-no-shirty. Chilly day to not have a shirt on.
See how the ball, how it hung up there. And then it hits the ground and right off the back, and great awareness there. Be able to fall on it.
That was Will McLaughlin, I think. Was it 20?
It would have been Robbins.
Oh, it was Robbins.
Yeah.
Robbins. The double numbers strike again. My apologies. Robbins had it hit him in the back while he was trying to block. That's the first Iowa State turnover of the game, and it gives the Cowboys great field position from the 14-yard line. First down. Flores going to keep it on an option look, and he'll have a short gain. Iowa State thinking that there was a turnover there. Flores was signaled down on the play.
But kind of reset that drive after the penalties. They got a little bit better field position than they were last time, but that turnover kind of revitalizing his offense, giving him great opportunity here in the red zone.
Now Flores, the quarterback, goes out wide at the top of the screen. Howland lined up for a direct snap. And that goes nowhere. He had Sam Jackson in the backfield with him, like he was going to hand it off to Sam Jackson. And a loss of 4 as Cowboys may have kind of outthought themselves a bit there.
Yeah, I mean, you watch even with the loss, it feels like it could have gone a lot worse, even for Oklahoma State there.
If that was a read play for Howland, he made the wrong read because Sam Jackson was out all by himself on the outside. 3rd and 13. Flores with time, throws low, and it's caught by Rigby. That's at the 11. Is going to bring up 4th down, and the kicking team will come on.
Here, Rigby does a great job going low and underneath. The problem is for Flores, you got to put that up. You got to allow your receiver an opportunity to run after that catch and potentially kind of get the first down. He makes a great catch, but because it's low, play is over right there.
28-yard field goal try straight on for Logan Ward. Splits the uprights. That is his 14th field goal made this season. And we're back to a 1-score game. Thursday night, and then the final set of rankings coming your way a week from tomorrow.
Well, last I had checked, Texas Tech was taking care of business, so they could very likely be able to slot to one of those first-round buys.
Bronco Bell 54 yards through the air today. He's got the 16-yard touchdown pass, 111 yards. Fewest he's thrown for in any start in his career. That happened 3 weeks ago in a win against TCU.
The back end of what you said is the key part, the win.
That's right.
You probably would love to have big stats. Ultimately, it's the W that matters.
Abu Sama on the first down carry will pick up a yard. Texas Tech leading West Virginia in Morgantown 35-0. That's early 3rd quarter.
TCB.
It's been an impressive team this year. Texas Tech, just the 1 loss. Second and 8. That one is complete to Sewell. Chase Sewell's got the 16-yard touchdown catch in the ball game today. It was his 2nd scoring catch of the season. Fresh set of downs for the Cyclones after the completion from Becht.
Well, add a little bit to his passing stats, and again, more importantly, moving the chains. And I think they knew today they wouldn't come in and lean on that run game.
Abu Sama, flag comes in at the end of the play. LaDainian Fields on the tackle. Sama was close to breaking that one
onside flag down.
Or being tripped up there at the end of the play.
Holding. Offense number 0. 10 yards from spot of the foul. First down.
Chase Sewell called for holding. We've seen that with those receivers for both teams a couple of times today.
Kind of feel like this is the second time today, though. He's made a catch, and then the very next play has had a penalty called on him. You see work, yeah, he just, as the defender is turning, easy call there for the official.
Sewell got his money's worth there. I mean, that's full-on takedown.
Have we done a WWE promo yet?
No, I don't think we have. Hansen with blockers out to the left. Knocked off his feet at the 34-yard line, so gets some of it back. This Iowa State team built on running the football 7 straight with 150 yards on the ground.
Hansen coming in today, 4 straight games over 100.
So far, 30 rush attempts for Iowa State. This time Becht to the air and looked like maybe not on the same page with his receiver, Dominic Overby. That was at least the closest one in the area. Third and 12 coming up for the Cyclones.
Oklahoma State's done a good job today creating pressure. And Bone's been aggressive.
Third down and 12 coming for the Wizards.
Cowboys show pressure. It's coming, and this one is caught. On the catch, Eli Green. And Green is knocked off his feet well short of the first down marker. So Oklahoma State's defense holds.
Yeah, they dial up pressure. They get back on the move, but Raymond Gay has got to make a tackle in space and does just that.
Gay's had a couple of nice plays in the ball game today. Freeman back to receive the punt. Tyler Perkins hits it away. Freeman going to try to make something happen. Makes the first man miss. Now he's going in the wrong direction. He does get back to the 10-yard line. Good coverage that time by the Cyclones. Well, Askin, you shall receive. The WWE Survivor Series is coming up. That's tonight at 7 Eastern. You can stream it in the ESPN app. Also available with the ESPN Unlimited plan. It's been going on as a Thanksgiving week tradition since 1987. War Games returns tonight from Petco Park in San Diego. They've got a stacked card including a 5-on-5 locked 2-ring steel cage match with Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar leading their teams. Is that what you wanted?
Yeah, I mean, just Chase Sewell kind of reminded me of it.
Flores getting to the outside and his receiver coming back. That's Terrell Davis that makes the catch. Out across the 25 for a first down. Gain of 14 on the play.
Putting Flores on the move here. Nice job squaring up and delivering that to Davis.
Iowa State led this game 10-7 at the half. Got a third quarter touchdown to make it 17-7. Oklahoma State, after the turnover, got a field goal to make it a one-score game once again. Trent Howland on the reception out of the backfield, brought down by Caleb Bacon.
Good job there by Flores, just kind of taking what was open, checking it down underneath.
Howland has pretty much gone the distance in the backfield today for Oklahoma State. Fake it to Howland. The pass is complete to Davis. Davis out across the 40. That's another first down for Oklahoma State as they close in on midfield. This time a gain of 10.
Yeah, Flores sees that he has a little bit of cushion there to his left, pulls it, throws it out to Davis, moves the chains.
This time quickly to the outside. That's Sam Jackson. A flag comes in from the field judge down on the Oklahoma State sideline.
Number 2, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
That's Terrell Davis called for the hold.
You can see Davis frustrated with himself, trying to get it out to the edge on a quick wide receiver screen. You see Davis working right there behind. You see him pull on number 7.
Trey Bell, who he got a hold of the jersey and pulled to the ground. So Oklahoma State moving in the wrong direction. Now 1st and 20. Flores quickly to the air. Dangerous throw.
Passes incomplete, intended.
Surgis and Ebel were both there.
Just tried to throw it right in between 2 defenders. Not only between 2 defenders, but a little bit behind him. And actually, Surgis may have been the one to kind of break that up from Ebel.
So the offense was kind of clicking for Oklahoma State, and now they face 2nd and 20 with 22 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Make it to Howland. Flores down the middle of the field, and it's intercepted. Diving and making the pick is Drew Surgis. That is his first interception of the season. He was close to play it go. This time he makes the diving effort.
Yeah, Surgis, you see him back in the middle of the field, sees it, does a great job. And just on the other receiver kind of stops on the route. You see on kind of the post route, just see him slows down. He's kind of settling down, working against Stone. Flores continues to kind of lead him like he's going to continue to push upfield, and then Surgis there for the interception.
2nd turnover of the game by the Cowboys. First one led to points. It was after the punch out and the recovery by Marcus Neal. That BYU and Texas Tech. Recent champions from the Big 12 and go back to Oklahoma, of course, now in the SEC. That was in 2020, followed by Baylor and Kansas State and Texas in their final year in the Big 12 last year. It's Kenny Dillingham's Arizona State Sun Devils winning the Big 12, advancing to the college football playoff. Sam Levitt, Cam Scattaboo and company.
Turnover will continue. There'll be a new one this year.
3rd down play for the Cyclones. Beck season opening takes off, and he is right at the marker. Looks like he's going to be marked short by about the length of a football.
A really good decisiveness there. In terms of seeing the pressure not there, the middle of the field opens up, doesn't think about it, tucks it, runs. Seen him do this earlier in the game. Go for it on the 4th and short.
All right, when you see the formation, look at the bottom of your screen. You got Vaya Ikakola lined up as a wide receiver. Now he motions into the backfield. He gets a seal block. They flip it down the field, and it's caught. Little tight end hot pass to Bramer for his first catch of the game. Iowa State digging into the bag of tricks there.
As you mentioned, use a big number 99. Ikakola is kind of window dressing and then slipping out. Bramer thinking they were going to try to power their way forward for that first. Slipping the tight end out. Nice throw there by quarterback.
Cyclones have got it inside the 20. On the ground, not much on first down. Nottam and Havili Kafusi leading the way on the tackle. Don't give a yard on that play. Tyler Moore and Bramer, the tight ends on the right side of the formation, top of your screen. It's a touch pass. Ooh, and not much there. That was Zay Robinson.
And trying to get to it. Kenneth Harris does a great job getting upfield, forcing that to cut back inside. Cleveland to make the tackle.
Third down at 9. Iowa State. Field goal makes it a 2-score game. They'd love to stick this one into the end zone. From the 16. Beck wants to throw. He does so quickly. Pass, though, behind the intended receiver. He was trying to hit Chase Sowell on the slant. Eric Fletcher was there in coverage, and now the field goal team comes out. Conradi will have another chance already with a made field goal today.
Him and Sowell have been kind of in lockstep today, but unfortunately they're just unable to connect.
34 yards from the right hash. Conradi splits the uprights, and it's a 2-score game. Iowa State back to a 10-point lead, 20-10. Matt Campbell's team trying to close in on win number 8 this year for display purposes.
Doing what I can.
This one rolls along, and we picked up at the 17 by Kobe Foreman, and Foreman is leveled on the return. What a big hit on the play that time. That was 22 for Iowa State.
And John Klosterman comes, just squares up and just puts his helmet right in his chest. Great stick there. They're going to play on special teams.
Klosterman with the hit. Now the defense back out. Let me predict. Klosterman, not Klosterman. Klosterman. My apologies for that. And now pass to the tight end quickly there. That's Grayson Brousseau. May have lost a yard on the play. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage.
After that nice special teams tackle. Ebel, really nice open field tackle.
Second and 10. Flores in trouble being chased, and he's able to get rid of this one. That's in the direction of the tight end, Brousseau. Didn't have a chance to get enough on that one to get it to Brousseau, who was kind of bracketed in coverage.
Bringing pressure from Flores' left side. Able to break 2 off there, coming off the edge and forcing the off-balance throw.
20-10, Iowa State with a 10-point lead in this ball game. Flores trying to step up, and down he goes. Caleb Bacon, how many times have we called his name today? Comes up with the sack. Loss of 5 yards.
Bacon, he's reading. In a little bit of time, he's able to kind of shoot that gap, make that tackle. Bacon, a player who kind of really missed pretty much the entire junior season outside of a few snaps, and still kind of took on a leadership role and became a captain this year.
Had 1 game started last year, missed the entire season. This punt going to hit, and it's going to roll inside the 10-yard line. It'll be down at the 9. Coaches for Oklahoma State told us Bacon was a unanimous captain choice despite.
It was a defensive play here. Kale Brazina coming from behind, pursuing and punching that out. That was Surgis. We knocked that one out.
Well, he came with the haymaker, punched it out. The recovery for Marcus Neal. Turnovers leading directly to, or I guess I should say indirectly, to 10 points in this game for Iowa State. The difference in the game, 20-10 the score as Iowa State begins this drive from their own 9-yard line. Cyclones with an opportunity perhaps to ice this one away. Hansen carries out near the 20-yard line. You know, it's an Iowa State team that loves to run the football, and it feels like a point in the game where you're going to get a heavy dose of that.
Yeah, it's good. Kind of really just feed right into their strength. Talked about those multiple tight ends, a big offensive line.
Nine and a half minutes remaining. It's Hansen once again, and he spins his way across the 25.
Carson Hansen once again.
43. They'll mark it right at the 25-yard line. 3rd and 4. I beg your pardon, 2nd and 4 coming up. Out of the gun. He's got Aiden Flora with him in the backfield. And it's a handoff to Flora, trying to get behind a blocker. He'll pick up a yard on the play and bring up a 3rd down. Brian McCoy Jr. on the tackle for the Cowboys.
21 to 8. Flora tries the left side. He's met by number 4.
Wendell Gregory as well, kind of there in backside pursuit. See coming. Gregory, number 4, kind of chasing that down, getting a hand on that. Allow McCoy to kind of finish it up.
Hansen back in on 3rd and 3. Oklahoma State trying to get off the field. Play action. Back hit as he lets it go. It's incomplete. Parker Robertson with the pressure from the outside. Robertson, the 5th-year senior, making a big play on senior day.
Yeah, we talked about Robertson off the top of the show there, being aggressive, a player at all 3 levels there on the line, coming to rush. Good bend. And Beck just does not see him.
So Iowa State will punt it right back. Capel and Freeman. The 2 punt returners back for the Cowboys. Got to get the ball back, needing points, down 2 scores, trailing it by 10. That's Gavin Freeman that comes up and makes the fair catch, and really good field position for the Cowboys. Down 10 with 7:54 to play. 32-yard punt, no return. That one was into the wind from Tyler Perkins.
And Freeman, outside of really kind of a holding call, a quarter ago, is a guy we really haven't spoke about much. A guy who's really kind of been active playmaker within this offense. Can they kind of get him going?
Floors being chased, had to get rid of it, throws it in the direction of Howland, incomplete. Caleb Bacon once again with the pressure. He has had a big game today for the Cyclones.
Yeah, 2 key pieces of that defense running right next to each other. And Bacon and number 31, Marcus Neal.
Kansas State today leading 17-7 at home in Manhattan against Colorado. Kansas State Wildcats need a win against the Buffs to become bowl eligible. Flores sees a lane, and now he takes off. He gets to the 45. He'll end up picking up a couple on the play. Flores is a guy that had 29 rushing touchdowns in high school. He can move around okay, maybe even pretty well, but he's not a run-first guy by any stretch. Texas Tech Now up 42-0 over West Virginia. Houston trying to finish off a 9-win regular season. They're up 24-9 over Baylor in Waco. Flores throws the look-in route, and Gavin Freeman will make the catch, but well short of the first down marker. And 7 minutes to go. You don't have really much choice but to go for it on fourth down, right?
Yeah, I mean, the offense kind of, outside of really one drive, kind of been struggling.
Flores had that stretch late in the second quarter where he completed 9 passes in a row. Iowa State shows pressure. Here they come. Flores steps up with time over the middle. Incomplete. Trying to get it to Terrell Davis. You have flags down on the play. And an Iowa State player that is injured. Caden Matson is the player down for
defense number 7.
ISU.
10-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
There was a hold on the play, and so a first down for Oklahoma State. They get the fourth down conversion. Right now, though, Cyclones fans most concerned about Matson down on the field.
Injury timeout.
Bell is up top. See, as he tries to come out of the break there, Davis got a little bit of a tug. Almost a great effort to really almost still come up with what was a low pass.
Tonight, the Tide looking to cement their spot in the college football playoff. Broken tackle for Rigby. He gets to the 35.
Pass complete to
Pick up there. Connor Welsh.
Rigby's able to kind of make the defender miss, but he kind of throws himself off balance as well.
Turf Monster got him. Get a little okey-doke after the catch. 2nd and 3. Oklahoma State needs a touchdown. Trailing back 10. Flores in trouble. Flips it out. He's got his man. That's Gavin Freeman. Makes a man miss. Inside the 25. Down to the 22. They'll mark him at the 23-yard line. Gain of 13.
Yeah, you can go around or over, but it really just starts with a good job by Flores with pressure in his face. Still able to find Freeman, and then he would go up and over.
Flores now swings it to the right side, trying to go to Davis. Incomplete.
He's going to drop it off to Freeman. Working upfield, goes up and over, showing the ups.
Connor Welsh trying to go low. Gavin Freeman had other ideas. You go low, I'll go high. 2nd and 10. Abshire was the motion man. They're looking to him. Ball knocked out of the hands of Flores. It's loose. It is recovered by Oklahoma State. That's Quentin Stewart that saves the possession for the Cowboys.
Roy
With
on
a
the
big
field.
loss on the play.
Comes by Oklahoma State. 3rd down.
There's a lot going on here. Looking, they're going to try to drop it off to Howland. Then he tries to come back where all the traffic is, and as he's trying to get rid of it.
Stop me if you've heard Caleb Bacon's name already today. In on another play. A loss of 14. 3rd and 24. Inside 5 minutes. 10-point lead for Iowa State. Flores steps up. He's got room as he rolls off to the right. Still looking downfield. He'll throw short of the first down. That's Cam Abshire on the catch. Down to the 24-yard line.
Pass complete to number 14, Cam Abshire.
So 4th down and 11 and down 2 scores. You kick the field goal here.
After a gain of 13.
Wind is at the back of Logan Ward. He's made today. This is going to be a 41-yard try from the right hash. Ward hits it well. That is inside the left upright, and it is now a 7-point game. Second make today for Logan Ward. He's got 15 field goals on which he has connected this season. So 3:52 remaining. You know about 2-minute offense. What about 4-minute offense? Craig, that's what Iowa State is looking for up a score.
You know, even despite Oklahoma State's 1-10 record, just talking with the Iowa State coaches early in the week, they knew that they were going to get the Cowboys' best between senior day, you know, and then obviously I think with the news coming out with the new head coach, I think there's a little bit kind of a level of excitement as well from this Oklahoma State, these players, you know, and kind of argue probably some of them maybe too treating this game as an audition.
John Hancock, it maybe been the very first thing the defensive coordinator for the Cyclones told us is, hey, they're playing well on the defensive side. It's senior day. He said, I don't care what your record is, you're going to get their best shot, and I think Oklahoma State has done that today. And you think about the switch for Oklahoma State. They had the open date after their November 1st loss to Kansas. Since then, they've held Kansas State to 14 points, lost by 8. Last week, they held UCF to 17 points. A fair catch called before stepping out of bounds.
On the field was a fair catch inbound. Ball be placed in the 25-yard line, first down.
So Iowa State will get the ball at the 25-yard line. And so far today, they've held this Iowa State team to 20, and they're once again in the game late in the fourth quarter.
So we see the fair catch, you see Dragon clearly. Flora doing a good job of obviously making that signal and staying in bounds before momentum took him out of bounds.
So the difference in the last 3 weeks in the way that they have played has been the Oklahoma State defense. They'll be called on in a big way right here to try and get this Iowa State offense off the field. It's a pretty good start to the drive for Carson Hansen with a 5-yard run on first down and the clock rolling. Both teams with all 3 timeouts remaining. Player down for Oklahoma State. That's Armstrong.
That's exciting as well. Just not only the develop quarterbacks, but the guys who could become great college quarterbacks.
Clock running inside 3 minutes. Just 3 on the play clock when it was snapped. Hansen out close to a first down. They're going to mark him about half a yard short, and so a third down coming. Going to be close to 2 minutes. Becht with the push, the tush push. He's only able to hold on to the football, unlike Jalen Hurts ball game. Sun has come out, but the wind has not checked up. A chilly afternoon in Stillwater. Iowa State with a first down run, and the first timeout taken by Oklahoma State. So for Oklahoma State, as we mops in the FBS this year. A win today for Iowa State would be their 8th of the season, and that would have happened just 13 times in program history as Hansen goes across the 45-yard line. He will pick up a first down. Aiden Kelly on the tackle. Clock continues to run, and with the chains moving, Oklahoma State does not burn a timeout.
Yeah, good job, just great blocking up inside there. Grayson Brusso.
From the 46. Becht hands it to Hansen, moving the pile across midfield. And a timeout taken by Oklahoma State.
30 seconds.
Doug Meacham has been the interim head coach for Oklahoma State during this window, and he's been pretty real with the players. He was a player here at Oklahoma State, been in college football for 37 years, 12th year as an assistant / interim head coach with the Cowboys. And had a couple of chances to visit with Doug Meacham this year, and he's had a lot on his plate in terms of players taking visits to other places during the week and then coming back and playing on game day. And he said there hasn't been a lot of yelling. We've tried to give these guys what they need. Clinton Bowen moving from an offensive analyst role into that defensive coordinator spot, which is where his background has been at Kansas State and other places. Carson Hansen came into this game averaging 123 over the last 4 games. He's gone over 100 again today, and now he's going to add to it. Hansen with a big run all the way to the end zone for now a touchdown, but a flag back at the line of scrimmage. A 48-yard run for Hansen. We'll have to check the mark.
Offense number 87. 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
So that one's coming back. Would have been an exclamation point for Iowa State.
Hooper working her up top against number 8 there on the edge. See if as he tries to break free, doesn't let him go.
They have had their improvement. Ikakola in the ball game, trying to get a kick out block on the end. He took care of his guy, but there were others that filled in, came up with a tackle, and has done a tremendous job at one of the most difficult spots historically in all of college football. Does so with fewer resources than many. Rocco Becht spins away at midfield, stays inbounds, so the clock will keep rolling with 4th down and 6 coming up.
Yeah, Iowa State's a program that just over the years has had flashes but never sustained success. It's a job that Matt Campbell, really what he's brought to this program. You think about that midseason skid, could have very easily kept and continued to have spiraled. They were able to kind of get back on track, finish this season strong, head into a bowl game.
Looking for a cheap 5 yards here on 4th and 5. Going to allow the play clock to run down and then take a timeout with 1 second left. I'll do so with confidence with one of the top 10 coverage teams in all of college football. Snap is a good one. The punt is away. Clock running, and a catch made at the 14-yard line. Not much there on the return for Freeman. Fans for Oklahoma.
Deep on the sideline, but you don't have to go very far to be deep on the sideline.
And their legs tangled up going to the ground. Almost looked like a little leg whip there. So 9 seconds left for Oklahoma State in their season. The deepest 3 safeties standing at midfield and now backpedaling over the middle. And Gavin Freeman cannot hold on. 5 seconds remaining. Iowa State trying to escape with win number 8 and a 5-4 record in Big 12 play. And it was a 5-0 start for this Iowa State team. Then they lost 4 in a row to Cincinnati, Colorado, BYU, and Arizona State. Flores, this one is tipped. Freeman catches it. And he's dropped short of the 1st down marker. The final seconds tick off. And the final score is still